Let's start with analyzing. Okay, firstly, we need to know who are we? Who are we? Newt printing. And then this is the trial balance given to us. Remember, sometimes you can be lucky where they give you what? Can you see normally they can give you debit and credit. So now you must just know which one is a debit, which one is a, as long as you remember the rules of account equation, you can use which system? The debt click, remember? Remember the debt click? Let me put it here. Debt click. Debt click. Remember this? Debt click, D stands for debit side. We record we increase expenses, assets and drawings. Credit side, we increase liabilities, incomes and capital. So this can help you. For example, here, land and building, what is it? It's an asset. It will take this one, and the side is going to be what? Debit. So you can use this debt click thing. Meaning on the debit side, we put, this can be very useful if they don't give, because sometimes it can be like they give you debit and credit. So this means on the debit side, we record expenses, assets, and drawings. On the credit side, we record liabilities, incomes, and capital. For example, furniture is an asset. It means it will take what? The debit. Bank unfavorable is a liability, means a liability. It will take what? Credit. You can do that. So the first G here means debit. The last D means drawings. This means credit. This means capital. So you can use it. Okay. So I know they gave us the information here. Just have to analyze for now. They also give us the information. Can you see these are the incomes and expenses? This is still part of the trial balance. And they gave us what? The adjustments. Okay. They give us the adjustments here, so we must just go through the adjustment and check what do they mean by saying that. Okay. Now, let's go to check the requirements before we can go further. They want us to firstly compile the, can you see the requirements? What they want? They want us to start with general, but they set only for what? For 4 and 5 above. And thereafter, they want us to deal with the statement of profit and loss. But we must first analyze the information. Okay, they said 4 and 5. Let's look at the 4 and 5. If you look at 4 first, now let's analyze 4. They say a piece of furniture was sold. A furniture was sold for cash on the 1st of July, and they say the entries are still to be recorded. They say the furniture that you are selling was originally bought. This is important. For how much? 80. And it was bought when? 1st of, you see, and then it was sold for how much? Remember, when we sell the assets, fixed assets, remember that section, asset disposal, we need to follow steps. Okay? So this means, if you remember those steps, the step number 1, to save time. Let's say we are selling. I'm going to put the steps here. Step 1. Remember, we must remove the cost. Remove the cost. I'm talking about the asset that I'm selling. We must remove the cost. That's the first thing that we need to do. Change this for. You must remove the cost first. Secondly, what is the next step? Now we need to record selling price. Remember? And then the step 3. Yeah, you can do that, but for me, I prefer this one. Remember when we did this in class? Yeah, so but it's okay, you can remove it first. It's okay. Accumulated depreciation. And step 4, we need to calculate profit or loss on sale of assets. Okay. These are the 4 things that we need to remember for us to be able to deal with number 4, because we're dealing with the asset disposal. Okay. And then we need to make sure that we do some calculations. Remember, I'm still dealing with number 4. Firstly, I want us to check the period that we're dealing with. If we check the information, which period are we dealing with? When? June 2018. So I'm gonna say, okay, our period is, I'm gonna do this. So I'm just gonna try to, I don't have a ruler. So I'm gonna try to have this. So meaning you said, we ended here. 30th of June 2018. When did you start? 1st of July 2017. This is important. Eh? Now, so the sale took place. We need to check, when did this sale take place? They say we sold on the 1st of? We sold here. Let me change this. We sold here. This is what we sold at the beginning. So the steps must be followed because we sold here. Can you see? This is important. Firstly, we need to check the cost of the asset that we are selling. What is the cost? 18,000. So we need to know what are the 2 accounts involved. You see? We must also make sure that we know the accumulated depreciation. So what we are missing here? Remember, we have got the cost, which is 18,000. We've got the selling price of what? 12,000. We are lacking what? So we need to calculate accumulated depreciation. No? We're gonna check, when did we buy this asset? We put it somewhere here. We put it somewhere here. You said this one? 1st of July 2015. So meaning we must depreciate from that date till this date. So we're gonna depreciate from here. And let's see, to there. That's what I'm gonna do. So if you check, how many years there? 2 years. So we're gonna depreciate for how many years? 2 years. So let's do the calculation quickly. For these 2 years, the calculation is going to be, I'm going to start it here. We're going to take the 18,000 for the first year. Ne? For the first year, I'm going to say 18,000 because it's still new times how many percent? If you can check the next page, I think I think how many percent? Just check the percentage for the finisher. Yeah, number 5. Check number 5B. 5B. It's 10%. The finisher, they said 10% using what? Okay, let me diminishing. So I'm gonna say times 10% times 12 over 12, which is gonna be 1,800. That is year 1. Year 2, meaning the one that ends 2017, is gonna be 18,000 minus first 1.8 because we're using diminishing before we multiply by 10%. Times 12 because it's 12 months over 12, and we got, you can help me with it. Let's see. $1,620. See now? No, you can't because the first year, remember, we didn't minus 1 point anything. You can't do that. So you have to do it one by one so that we can only minus 1.8 in year 2. And then thereafter, we are gonna say 1.8, the one that we found for year 1, plus 1,620. Is 3,420. So 3,420 is accumulated that we've been looking for 2 years. Remember, we want accumulated when we sold the asset. And we know that we sold the asset here. So meaning this depreciation of 3,420 is from the beginning here to, can you see now? Now I've got everything that I need here. I can go and record. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna go and record now. In the GJ, now that's number 4. I'm gonna record here. Let me remove this so that it can look. Okay, let me know if you are ready so that we can start. Remember the first step, obviously. The first step is to remove the cost. Remember, if we remove the cost, remember I said as long as you're following steps, one account will always be asset disposal. Now, the first step is to remove the cost, meaning the 2 accounts will be asset disposal and the cost of when I say cost, it means cost of which asset? Which asset are we selling here? Furniture. So the 2 accounts will be asset disposal and furniture. Because it's not easy to classify asset disposal, I prefer you to look at furniture. So when you remove furniture, it's like you're selling it. Will you increase it or decrease it? On the which side will furniture decrease? What is furniture to you? It's your asset. So you are selling it. Under which side are you going to record it to show that you sold it? Where do assets decrease? Otherwise, you're going to struggle if you don't know the rules. So you're going to credit. So meaning I'm going to credit furniture. I'm going to debit asset disposal. Can you see? Asset disposal is debited with 18,000. That is the cost. And I'm going to credit what? Furniture with 18,000. I remove the cost. You can see furniture is decreasing. What was the step number 2? Selling price. How did you sell? No, that is depreciation. How did we sell? Go and check the question. How did we sell? They told you how did you sell? Cash. So give me the 2 accounts for step number 2. And asset disposal. Will bank increase or decrease? How can you sell and receive cash and bank decrease? Under which side? You debit the bank, you credit asset disposal. So you need to learn the, otherwise you're gonna put them under the wrong side. Okay. Step number 3. Okay, accumulated depreciation. So, and then we know the amount already. Remember, I did some calculation there. 3420. So the 2 accounts will be, and which one must I debit, which one must I credit? Debit accumulated and credit what? Just that calculation. And you must credit asset. Because they can also ask you questions only on asset disposal, so you must know how to do it. Okay. Okay. The next step, if you remember, we had to check whether we made profit or, remember, what is the formula for profit? Is the selling price less carrying value. And what do we mean by saying carrying value? Carrying value is the value of the asset when I sold it. Is the cost minus what? Accumulated. So if we say cost minus accumulated, we're going to get what? Our carrying value. And we take our selling price and we less our carrying value, we'll either get profit or. So if we made a profit is an income, we're going to credit that profit. But if you made a loss in expense, you're going to debit that expense. So here, I debited what? Loss. It means I made a loss here. Can you see why? Check that. So if you say 18,420, that is the carrying value of the asset that you sold. When you take 12,000 and minus that carrying value, you're going to get what? A negative. It means I made a loss of how much? 258. Check that. We sold for 12,000 and the value 18,000 minus 3,420. That is the value, meaning the value is more than the selling price. So I get a negative. That's why I say I made a loss. If I made a profit, the answer will be a positive, and this profit was supposed to be on the credit side. Makes sense. That's how we need to deal with number 4. Is the asset disposal part of it. Number 5, they wanted us to deal with the depreciations. If you can check, I'm going to quickly go down. Okay, you can write because I'm going to scroll down back to. I'm going to scroll back to the. Okay, I'm going to quickly go back there. So I'm going to treat it like this. If you can check number 5. Number 5 is all about, they say we must provide depreciation for motor vehicle. But remember, the motor vehicle, they say we must use what? Straight line method, 20%. We need to know this. And they say we must know that the new vehicle was bought for how much? 180, and it was properly what? Recorded. So we need to make sure that we're careful when we calculate depreciations. Why? Because the new one is included there. So I want us to analyze this first before we can go and record. Okay? So still I'm gonna need, let me draw a time period. I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this, sorry for skewed lines. By the way, you said we ended when? When did we begin? Okay, no problem. This is our accounting period. This is the beginning, this is the end. Now, they say we need to calculate what? The depreciation. Eh? So firstly, we need to check it on what? On the motor vehicle. Now, we've got new and old. If you can go and check the list of balances, the amount of motor vehicle, what is the date for it? Just go and tell me. Is the beginning or the end? Did they write in brackets? It's the end. So meaning I'm gonna come here, let me change the color. It means give me that amount is given to you here. 530,000 is the cost of what? Of that particular motor vehicle. But if you can check here, they said there was a new vehicle which was bought somewhere on the 28th of? Do you agree with me if I say somewhere here? That vehicle was bought here, né? A new one was bought. The date is, let me put the date so that you can have, is 28th of Feb 2018. So this will affect our calculation. Eh? So what we're gonna do, we need to check for how much did they buy it for. What was the cost, please? 180,000. It was bought. Ne? It was bought for 180,000. So meaning, at the beginning, it was not 530, this motor vehicle, because they told us that this 180 has been recorded already, remember? So it means I must check how much was it at the beginning. So I'm gonna say 530 minus what? Yes, let's do that. 530 minus 180. 350,000. So we need to do this because this will affect us, okay? So when we do calculations, I'm not gonna do calculation on 530. I'm gonna do calculation on 350 and 180 separate. Are we together? Now, let's start our calculation. We're gonna start with the old one. Okay. The old one first. The old motor vehicle is how much? Is 350. Which method? I think we are using straight line method. Times how many percent? 20%. Because it's old, it has been there the whole year. Oh. Am I wrong? No, that is new. I'm not focusing on new. The new is only 180. I'm focusing on the old one, the one that we started with. We started with 350 and it's for the whole year. How much we get? I get 70,000. That is for the one that is old, né? The new one, 180. Is it 12 or 12? I don't think it's 12 or 12. Because we bought it on the 28th of Feb, March, April, May, June. Only 4 months. And get 12,000. So the total depreciation is gonna be 70.3. It's gonna be 82,000. It's gonna be 82,000. The motor vehicle one. Okay. The motor vehicle one. So we know that the total for motor vehicle so remember just calculate. So we're gonna need these figures by the time when we start recording. That was for motor vehicle. This is the depreciation for the year for motor vehicle. Remember, we still have furniture that we need to depreciate. We know that we sold furniture, but we didn't sell all the furniture. We only sold 18,000 for 18,000. So the remainder must still be calculated. Okay. So we can still do the one for furniture here so that we can just have everything. Are you okay? So I'm gonna put the furniture one here, don't be confused. For the furniture, give me the balance first. For the furniture, the balance at the beginning was how much the cost? It was 280 for furniture. But remember, we sold the one at the cost of how much? Of what? 18,000. We must take it out. 18,000 to show how much are we left with. Okay. We're talking about the furniture now. Minus 18, 1, 2, 3. I get 262. That is the remaining vehicle, remaining what? Furniture after selling. And we must depreciate this one because the other one that we sold, we don't have it anymore. And we sold it at the beginning, so we cannot depreciate it during the year. So now, which method of depreciation are we using? Reducing, so I'm gonna say 262. Go and find accumulated depreciation from the balances. $189,000. You see now? And then it's then that you're gonna multiply it by how many percent? Finish, I think was 10. And it's the whole year because it's an old one, okay? Which is, let's see. Yes, that's why we are minusing the previous. Okay. I get 7,300. Check for me. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Is the balance 189 here? You said 189. No, you gave me a wrong one. It's not 189. It's not 189. For furniture, it's 87,000 only. Yes, so that's 262.13 minus 87,615. We get 17,000. 17435. That is the depreciation but for the furniture. So this is what we're going to record on the general journal. So we've got depreciation for furniture, we've got depreciation for what? For motor vehicle. Okay. So we can show it here, even though we have got the answer book, we can show it here quickly. When we put it in the GJ, it's going to look like this. I'm just going to use this place. So we're going to debit depreciation. And remember, you must add the two depreciations together. Né? We want the 82,000 plus 17,000.
So if on this one, this is for
Which one?
this one is
The 82,000. Yeah, but together when we record them, they must be added together. Remember, I'm showing how to record in the GJ. So the depreciation will have total of them, and we're going to separate them. So if you add, the total is how much? Is 9. I'm going to show you 99435. Ne? 9. Why is it not okay? Gonna be 99. Sure, it doesn't like it. Let me just put it here. 99435. Ne? So this means you will credit. I'm just doing it roughly. Ne? Accumulated depreciation for what? What is that? The first one is for, we did the motor vehicle. Ne? The motor, which is how much? 82. 1, 2, 3. Ne? And then you are gonna also credit. This is how we record in the GJ. Because I'm trying to put everything on the same page. Because when I scroll, maybe it can be confused. Depreciation, but it must be for what? Finish. But it's gonna be how much? 17435. When you add them together, they give you that 99. Can you see now? So here we put them separately.
so when you do before this is straight.
Yes. That's how you need to do that. Yeah. They will tell you which method must you use. Okay. I think I don't know, but I'm gonna try and maybe if I can finish and put this on the VC on the YouTube now. Because now I've got another class now. I'll check now. I'm not. I'm telling you, I filed them somewhere, and I'm gonna check now, and then maybe I'll find them. I'm gonna check them now.